to 0 Hit Points, everybody. Oh, hey, we did it at the same time. It's December 13th.
Energy.
I'm Ryan Miller, and it looks like he made it home safely. Matt Amberg.
I am a traveler. I'm a successful one. I got on a plane. I went to a place. I got back on the plane. I left the place. I came home. I landed. I got home.
All the best traits of a traveler.
Yeah. I packed a bag. I purchased items.
Oh, that's another good one.
Yeah. I brought them with me. I forgot nothing.
That sounds suspicious.
I know.
Any traveler I know forgets important things.
Nope. I forgot nothing. I remembered it all.
You didn't leave anything at my house that you wished you had taken home?
I did not leave anything at your house that I wished.
On your walk of shame. That's what this feels like.
Yeah.
How was your stay in California?
It was pretty good. I stayed at your place. So that was all right.
What did you enjoy most about the fires?
In and Out.
That's true. That was a good
Those
fire.
are good
Best
burgers.
fire we had all week.
Yeah. No, so I flew down to the La area and met Rhino here. That's what we're calling him from now on.
Yep.
Rhino. Met him for a jaunt over to the Game Awards where
We'll get there.
engaged in that, and then the following day we puttered around Los Angeles, checked out the Magic Castle because sometimes magicians like to keep secrets up there. Yeah, get crazy.
No idea.
Yeah, and then we went to the movies, and because we like to go on dates apparently. And it was great.
We did a lot of date stuff. Yeah.
We did. We went to dinner and a movie. Movie and dinner.
We did no desserts. We did everything but
we got Carvel that one day.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
I guess we just did out of order.
We got ice.
You're right.
Yeah, we did it all. We're really, really into the relationship.
We had grand plans. I feel like I don't regret any second of your trip.
No.
I feel like we thought we were going to do more, and then the things we did were better than those other things. But maybe just not. Like we didn't even stream.
No, but it was a feeling out period. I had never met your family, and so I got to meet them, and that was a whole situation.
Yeah, why didn't we stream that?
Yeah, that would have been just great. You could have seen the horrified looks on everybody's face. It didn't go well. Yeah, it was fine. We did have grand plans, but we ended up hanging out more and something we've never really gotten to do. So, because we've only ever gotten to hang out at PAX, which means we're busy. We have agendas. We're doing stuff. And we didn't have an agenda so much. We went to the Game Awards, and that was pretty much the only thing.
Living the dream.
Yeah.
Doing normal things.
We did.
Not in Seattle.
We saw a movie together, so let's talk about let's talk about the movie.
Okay.
We saw the Justice League. The League of Justice. Superman, he's a guy that believes in truth.
Big fan of justice.
And a huge fan of justice.
Right.
And he wants everybody to know that in possibly the second worst line of dialogue that I have to assume was written by Joss Whedon.
Think that was the second worst line of dialogue?
Yeah, it comes only after in Whedon's whole career, basically, the worst line he's ever put out was, what happens to it? You know what happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning?
That's confirmed Whedon?
Yeah, he admitted that. He admitted that.
Okay, all right. Hey,
awful.
They're not all winners.
They're definitely not. I like this movie, though. I thought Justice League was a winner.
Justice League.
I thought it was a winner.
It was.
I have to. I'm gonna get out ahead of this one. I thought it was really funny that up until I mentioned it after the movie, you had no clue that Henry Cavill had a CGI mouth for like half of his scenes, which I couldn't take my eyes off it. It didn't bother me.
He's also filming some Mission Impossible where he has a mustache.
Yeah, he is, and they wouldn't let him shave it off, so they had to CGI it out. There are some sequences that are you clearly weren't looking for it. You didn't know it, so apparently it didn't bother you. I was looking for it. It didn't bother me because I think it's just kind of funny that.
Guess what movie CGI faces seem pretty at home in?
Star Wars?
Justice League.
Oh.
I'm
sorry. What happened? Overall, though, man, I totally dug it. We had some great back and forth with Bruce and Diana, and
it's their movie,
and totally Ben Affleck. This is the Bruce Wayne that we kind of needed to see. He's actually Bruce
really
Wayne.
good Bruce Wayne. Yeah.
And I still totally love his Batman. And this one they gave, all the characters a little more levity and yeah,
Definitely.
The humor is sprinkled throughout and I know that not everything landed for you, but I think a good majority of it landed for me.
Wait, everything landed for you?
Not everything, but a good majority of it.
Okay. So you think more things landed for you than landed for me?
Probably.
Is that where
yeah, that's all I'm saying.
We'll see.
We both agreed though that I think that one of the faults or maybe not a fault so much as kind of maybe a disappointment a little bit is that
sounds like a fault.
Diana gets that huge introduction that doesn't really serve any purpose, especially after having her pre-introduced in Dawn of Justice and then having her own movie. And then we kind of get shortchanged on Flash and Cyborg in their backgrounds. You don't really get hardly any
Aquaman.
intro. And Aquaman's intro is, I think, more extended than theirs, but very, very minutely.
True.
I mean,
I guess he's given more of an uphill battle. Like he's the guy that doesn't want any part of anything,
Right.
Whereas I guess Cyborg's there too. But I think what you're getting at is the biggest push and pull of this film is that every character in this film doesn't have a movie already.
right.
So the big question mark is always, are they going to be able to, is it going to be a mess? Are they going to be able to actually introduce new characters rather than having to forego some of those introductions like Avengers could do because they already had some of the movies out? And the scene you were mentioning with Wonder Woman is she gets introed a little bit, but then a lot more time is spent with her introducing her character or welcoming her back maybe where it's not really needed because
Right.
she does have a movie. We haven't necessarily been updated on what she's been doing recently since that movie takes place, in World War One, I guess, right?
Right.
One?
Right. Well, I mean, I guess we're asking what happened after Batman versus Superman more than anything. That's like the bigger question is.
True. She shows up there for a bit. Yeah. Okay. It's a mistake or if it's a mistake, I guess, that's bound to be made because she's also one of the draws for the movie. Like she's a headliner, right?
And again, that sequence was cool. Like it was a good.
Yeah, it was good.
It was
to see
a
her
great
again,
action sequence. It was cool to see all the things that she did. Like very very
Definitely.
fun Wonder
Yeah,
Woman
sure.
stuff. It was just one of those that's one where if they're gonna put something on the cutting room floor, let's maybe chop that one down a little bit more so we can get a little more Aquaman, who's somebody we have not met at all. Or a little more, and Barry kind of gets the pass on this one because of the TV show. So even though they're not related, I think he's in the zeitgeist enough.
I think they leveraged that enough. Yeah,
and similar to like Bruce, they don't need to do anything with Batman ever. You never need to do an intro story for him in any point.
Correct.
You could make a movie at any point in his comic book career, pull it out of thin air, and people will know. You don't have to introduce him. But Cyborg is somebody who's not, and on top of the fact that Cyborg ends up being like kind of the crux of the film in many ways. Like he kind of
he's the hacker.
He is the way it ends. He is the way it begins.
Also that,
so that's kind of part of it. And then, again with Aquaman, you can tell they had a grand idea for introducing him. And I don't know if there's more to it and it got cut or if they just didn't film it because it seems like there should have been more to the entire fishing village scene. There should have been more with him talking to Mara. And there should have been more with him and Steppenwolf when Steppenwolf goes to Atlantis.
Yeah, and I was fine with those except for maybe the part where he does talk to, I forget her name every time. Mara, because that's the point where he turns around. Like Steppenwolf comes and takes the mother box from Atlantis, which there's 3 of them out there and Atlantis has one. And that's where she's like, hey, you're the son of the other girl guy, so you should go get it back. And up till that very point, the answer has been no. And all we get in terms of he's okay with it now is, okay, I'm going to need something from you first.
And
Speaking about the trident, and that's it. We don't get any, we don't even get a 2-second pause where he's thinking about it in his head a little bit, which could have worked as well because he's also one of the more impulsive characters in the movie.
Yeah.
They could have done something with that too, but they didn't go far enough in that direction either. So it's just kind of it almost becomes a throwaway thing where, yeah, he's going to join now. that's, he's good. Here we go.
It was a little disjointed, his bit, but it was good. Like everything, I really like him. I can't wait to see that movie.
No, he was good in the film. Yeah, that was a good one.
I really enjoyed that, and I actually really
better than I thought he would be. Actually,
right.
I haven't seen Momoa do a ton of great, stuff, but not that he's turning into a tour de force here, but he's not supposed to. He knows what his character is, and he nails it.
Yeah,
so,
no, totally. He's like, you can tell he loves that. Like he's totally into this character. He's into it. He's sold on it. He's ready to buy. Like he out of all of the actors outside of Ezra Miller, like when they're talking about the movies, he is like the most like.
Oh really?
Like just bombastic about it. He's super excited about it.
So he's the Flash from this movie, but in real life.
Yes. Well, no, I think Ezra Miller is actually still the real life.
Also very excited about.
Yeah,
as excited about the movie as he is in character as the Flash in the movie.
Yeah, and I actually. I still enjoy the Flash TV show. I really like Grant Gustin. I think he's a good Flash. I think he's a good Barry Allen. I like what they did with Ezra Miller here. He's a little more jokey. He's a little more nervous energy throughout the entire movie. He has nervous energy, and it works because they do frame him to be younger than the Grant Gustin Barry. Mm-hmm. You get that very clearly early on. That he's like it seems like he's just getting into college or maybe just getting out of college, and
he's applying for the forensics job.
Right, he's just going into that point, and huge shout out to Dr. Manhattan for being Barry's dad, because Billy Crudup
did good.
He's great, man. That guy, great. Great. I can't think of his dad's name now, but
Yeah, I don't think Grant Gustin would have been a good fit for this thing. You're right. I like him fine too, but
after seeing the movie and I had initially been in that kind of why not just bring them over? Yeah, Ezra Miller fits this better, and now that's not to say Grant Gustin couldn't do it. I just don't think this iteration would have been right, and
no, and it would have just been really weird. It would have been weird. Like how
weird.
Like I'm gonna go to a movie to portray kind of a different Flash for a while.
Right,
like that would just be annoying, really, for a while.
Yeah,
and I do like the idea behind the nervous energy, like what was done with the Flash in Justice League, but more often than not, the execution was not great for me. Like I didn't like some of the whole. It was just too much. It was too.
You said too memey. That was your.
Yes, meme.
That was your.
Yes, too memeish.
He didn't bother me. I liked it. It fit for me. It worked for me as, for that version of the character. And one of the things that I really liked about that character in particular is that he does make it very clear that he is still not sure about his powers. He knows what they are, but he doesn't know his limits, and he certainly hasn't used them very well, because he trips over things like multiple times throughout the movie that you never see the Flash do as a mature Flash. Like he knows that stuff. And
but they do really well with that. I thought, like, there's a scene with him and Batman where he comes, like, very kind of sincerely. He's like, hey, I've never fought before. Like, I've been into this whole team thing. Like, from the very beginning, he's like, I'm in,
Right.
And Batman's like, you're in? And he's like, yeah, what do you, very much the kid thing. Like, yeah, I'll be part of a superhero team. But then they get to the fight and he's like, hey, I've never done this before. And he's very scared and he's very cowardly. And Batman, I don't know if I want to give it away, because it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie where he talks to him.
I think it's out there. I think you can spoil it. I don't think it's a big deal.
Okay. Well, he just tells him save one. And he's like, then what do I do? He's like, you'll know from there. And it's obviously he saves one, and he's like, well, I gotta go back. And it's done really well. It's a really cool part of the movie.
Yeah, no, that was a great scene. And there was a bunch of little scenes like that with Affleck, where in both costume and out, where it's like, I'm so bummed out by the fact that the odds of us seeing him again are slim to none. Like, it's just he's clearly over the beatings he's taken for the movies, and it's such a bummer that he's really coy about everything, and I don't know. Whereas you get like Henry Cavill, man, he is in on this, and he was thrilled that Superman finally, he gets to play the Superman that he always wanted to play. the whole, base of this movie is how does the Justice League stop something that's impossible, that can kill everything except the most unkillable. So we're going to figure out a way to bring Superman back. It's not the biggest secret in the world. I think everybody kind of knew Superman was coming back.
Yeah.
And the way they bring him back totally worked for me. Loved that entire sequence. And there's one shot, and we're just going to talk about it because I don't care. Basically,
we going full.
Yeah, we're going in.
You know what? This might be the least possibly spoiled movie in a long time. Like Superman comes back. Like, honestly, I can't think of it, but except for the moment-to-moment stuff, like where, that was cool to see, like that moment with Batman and Flash. Like, I can't think of any actual story spoilers.
No, this doesn't do anything. So they use a mother box, the one mother box that they've kept away from Steppenwolf to resurrect Superman. And during the entire time they're debating about this. There are a number of fantastic sequences that lead into it. Great dialogue too. But they keep mentioning that the pet cemetery thing that comes up, like Barry mentions it like 3 times, right. that he can come back, but he's not going to be all there. And that's basically what happens. And so there's an entire sequence where the Justice League is fighting Superman. And in one of those incredibly shot, fantastic moments, just really emphasizes everything about what he's doing, like what these characters can do. And even in regards to Superman, is Barry uses his powers, and there's this fantastic shot of Superman slowly turning his eyes and looking at Barry, and Barry realizing
that was good.
That he can be seen by Superman and that he's not as fast as he thinks he is in comparison, which was awesome because it eventually leads into, towards the end of the movie, they have a race, basically.
One of the stingers.
Which then leads to the stinger of them, of Barry saying, "Thanks for doing this. I kind of wanted to see," and they do a race, and like that was the stinger. That was perfect. That was the best. I love that. And Cavill, man, I love him. I love him as Superman. And I said this. Yeah. This is my bold statement about Henry Cavill.
This is a very bold statement.
If they can give the Boy Scout Superman to Henry Cavill, the Boy Scout that he is very much so turned into in this movie. This is no longer the dreaded grim dark
no
Superman.
Batman versus Superman.
No,
here
this is he is friends with Bruce at this point. He likes Bruce genuinely. He cares about these people. He's a good guy. He's
not portrayed. I mean, that was the whole not just the Batman versus Superman relationship in that movie in Batman versus Superman, but the world's turning against him, right? Right. Very much scared of him. Like, is he a good guy or a bad guy? That's very much at the center of that movie. None of that here.
Now the beginning of the movie is kids running up to him and asking him if he really stands for hope and all this stuff, and it's a really like the
That's
intro
right. I forgot about that.
Really cute sequence, and I think that if Henry Cavill's given the Boy Scout Superman, I think he can be the best Superman of all time, beating out Christopher Reeve. I love Christopher Reeve, man. I think Superman 1 and 2. Those are phenomenal movies, and Christopher Reeve is an amazing Superman. But I think Henry Cavill with the Boy Scout Superman that he got, that Christopher Reeve got, he needs to get that kind of Boy Scout. He could totally do. I think he does it. I think Henry Cavill has it. I would love
for him to get that Superman. Like I'm way into that.
I think that's what we all want. We all want that, And
the Man of Steel had shades of that too. Like all the scenes with easily the best part of that entire movie. All the scenes with him and Kevin Costner and all that stuff. Like remember, and that had the theme in the background that you always heard in the trailer. Yep. Like the best part of that movie. Also the movie that everybody wanted, and then everything else happened. So yeah, if we can capture that maybe and give us that in the next Superman, yeah, for sure. Whether or not he surpasses Reeves, I would have to do some deep amount of study there. I would have to rewatch some movies, and it wouldn't be an easy decision for me.
No, I think it's possible, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, man, that's the thing, and we talked about this too. As far as the DC Cinematic Universe goes, like there's just so much in question. Like you got to wonder, it's almost a miracle that Justice League came together as good as it did. And I know that it's getting middling reviews out there or something like that.
Yeah, of course.
whatever. To me, it's a contest between Justice League and Wonder Woman for best DC movie, or Snyder DC movie, I guess.
Right.
Snyderverse DC movie. Leaving out Dark Knight and all that stuff. Yes. Batfleck. Before we leave him, though, quite possibly the best characterization of Bruce Wayne. Just, it's rough to say because Christian Bale definitely had an arc, and again, that's just a really weird comparison. But we get world-weary Batman here. He's still Dark Knight Batman. He's still post-Dark Knight Batman, even, you could say. And a couple great lines come out of that as well.
Yep.
But then he's also very aware in that world-weariness of who he is. Like, he's so much good dialogue about who's the center of the team and who is needed for what.
Yeah.
And why they're bringing back Superman. Why even if Bruce is at the center of a lot of this, he can't be the leader or the one.
Which was one of my favorite lines in the whole movie is Bruce talking to Alfred and basically saying that he can't be the leader. Clark needs to be the leader, and he's getting ready to say something, and he's going to say Clark is. And Jeremy Irons interrupts him to try and get him to kind of reel back because he doesn't know where he's going with this, and Bruce just looks at him and says, "More human than me."
Yeah. And
it was totally like Affleck's look, the look on his face. There was like this resignation, but this like it was an understanding that it's the right thing to do, and there's almost like a burden lifted by admitting it or something. I don't know, man. Affleck killed it.
It's just a character I think we don't see very often just anywhere. But this guy who understands his limitations, and there's almost a tone of regret to it. Like, he wishes he could be that sometimes.
Yes.
But he just isn't. He's not that guy. So, and Superman is, I think the line is something along the lines of the world needs Superman, but the team needs Clark. Something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we also need a ton of dogs. I don't know if there's anything you can do.
Yeah. Hold on.
Do you have? No. I'm literally not asking you to go. I was making it. Can you help us out? Thank you. We've got a ton of dogs. Sounds good. Let's do it.
Great. They're there.
Don't worry about it.
So Justice League. Let's briefly mention the final stinger. There's a final stinger after the credits. Lex Luthor escapes from prison.
Maybe my least favorite stinger of any movie.
And up pulls Slade Wilson, Joe Manganiello, and don't you think we should have a league of their own? I'm gonna make a Tom Hanks and Gina Davis reference that nobody will get.
It does. It's way too close. Yeah, they literally say those words.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Whatever. It was way weaker than the Superman and Flash. That should have been the final stinger.
I didn't want.
You don't like Iceberg, so that's
Iceberg
that's
come back.
That's gonna fail for you every time. I should have been happier
to see Deathstroke, and
it got ruined. All right, Justice League, thumbs up. We liked it.
It's fine. Go watch it. Have fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
We did do other things though. I watched other movies too. We both did. Tell me.
I don't want to talk about that because I didn't finish
it. Just want to make sure. Yeah, all right, that's fine. I'll tease it. Here you go. Since you mentioned Men in Black, I started watching with my kids, so I have 1 and 2 in the can, and then me and you started watching 3 with the family. Yes, there you go. That's teaser enough for you. We'll get to the Men in Blacks later.
I gotta finish it.
Let's just go straight games then, I guess. We played some games too. We did play a game while you were here.
We did. We completed Cuphead. We did it 2-player, which was significantly more difficult.
Probably.
Than we expected it to be. But I had yet to have finished the game, so we ran through that. It took us about 5 hours. Something, I don't know.
Did it really? Okay.
No, it was like 9:30 to I think 11:20 or so is when we got through the game, and then the last hour or two was just noodling around trying to get the last coins and some of the achievements.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did some of that too.
Yeah,
but still, that wasn't fun.
That was a great time. That was
great.
It was really fun seeing somebody else get frustrated the same way I do. like just less swears.
Feed on each other.
Less swears. I don't know how you get. I don't understand how you don't swear. It doesn't.
Just keep it up here. Suppress it all.
Yeah.
And then when it does all come out, people die.
It's wow. That's take a laxative.
It was cool to. I mean, we started at the beginning, and then I was like, hey, if we just download your cloud save, we can get through the end of this thing. Well, theoretically,
yeah.
This game actually. because you were at just King Dyson and the Devil, like the last two dudes, right?
Yep, that was it. That's all we had to do. And
yeah, it was a fun.
It was fun.
It is. It's almost a different game, 2-player, like especially locally.
Way significally more difficult.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
like and it definitely scales too.
Yes,
like there was a part where that was becoming very annoying doing the Devil, because there's these guys that pop up on the side, and if we're alone, they're one hit and they're gone. But then if there's both of us there, it also seemed inconsistent. Like sometimes they would take 2, sometimes they would take 3.
But then the final win was kind of one of those, no way it's gonna happen, and then all right, well there it is.
Yeah, and
great.
And I had been worried up till then. I was like, man, like what if he dies and then I finish the game? Like that's like I not that I'd feel bad, but I'd be like, that's like the least optimal way to do this.
I would have been good with it.
But then the complete opposite happened. I died super early, like again I had been doing. And you had like the whole last form. No, I died before the last form. I think.
Yeah, I had to finish up going back and forth. I had like 2 more of those guys to finish off.
You had to get in the last form and then do the last form, which, man, you did better than I did when I beat it, because the only way I got through it was because I had something happen with my special, and I ended up, that's what it, because once you get to the final form, he literally only takes 3 hits from the charge shot, I think is what it is. And I had a special, so I hit special and I was able to get rid of him. But I think you had special and you didn't even use it.
Yeah, I didn't use it. I didn't realize I had it, and and it was like I got lucky. I think when his final form hit, that there was like the things that fall like didn't come down at exactly like when they were in the past. Like they were coming down like immediately. Things were already happening like as soon as it happened. And as soon as his final form changed, I think I got a charge shot off like the minute he was available to hit on accident. And then I did the second one, and I was standing there, and you're like, shoot! And then I fired the last shot, and that was it. And I was like, oh, I didn't know I only needed one more hit. And that was very, very exciting. Yeah. I absolutely adore that game. It was a great game.
Oh, it's so good. So good. More on that later too.
I also played the intro mission and the beginning of the second mission to Star Wars Battlefront 2.
That's right. While I was passing out on the couch, or
that
was bed, whatever.
That was
soft thing.
That was.
What'd you think?
Not great.
Better than you thought, right? I agree.
Yeah. That was no. I mean,
No, that's not a good beginning.
It was not a good beginning.
Like
the gameplay, like the shooting and stuff, was okay. That was fine. But yeah, the story and everything, it was not good.
It's a bad beginning.
It was a bad,
I should have booted up the Luke level for you. Actually,
Luke level.
I think that's still the high point of that.
Actually,
no. I should have done the Lando level for you.
Lando level.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play with robots.
I finished that actually this week too. I finished the campaign finally.
Oh yeah. How do you feel about that?
As a dumb ending. I still like the campaign overall. There's lots of good moments. Way better than I thought it would be even. But that ending, you play as Kylo Ren searching for Iden Versio's husband or whatever they end up doing. They've had a kid together at that point. He's old. This is Kylo Ren, so it's many years later. And they hint... They leave it dangling enough. They say enough things to make it a question, or to get some people to think that Iden Versio and this guy, I can't remember his name, this guy's kid might be Rey. Like anybody in their right minds would do that.
Yeah, no, that would be real dumb. Very, very dumb.
Incredibly dumb. So what's dumber than that? Hinting at it like that. It's dumb.
You're going to find out they're Greedo's parents.
They could have done something.
They couldn't have.
Better.
That was all the games I played.
I also played the Monster World Hunter World
Okay.
Beta.
Hello.
World.
I don't know. Oh, I don't know anything about it. Tell me all about it. I want to know.
So get this. You hunt monsters within a world of sorts.
It's Pokemon.
Yes,
Okay.
it's quite similar.
Do you murder them?
I don't know. I've never played either of the franchise before, so I could necessarily tell
one
you.
you don't murder, one you capture, the other you murder, right? What do you
pretty
do?
sure you're murdering here. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so
it was anything you'd expect from whatever you've heard. Literally, like you choose between beginner, medium, expert. I chose beginner. You're tracking down monsters. I was also half falling asleep at the time. This is last night. I wanted to try and get it in before I fell asleep. Didn't necessarily succeed, I guess is the best way I could put that.
Fantastic.
But
it's going to be a terrific story.
It looks great. Like I could see how there would be a lot of fun there. You don't get into the world, I think, as much as you would need to fully understand. Like it's just an encapsulated mission. Like I said, I got some clues. I followed some, I picked up some footprints. They seemed to add towards a tally. I didn't really get. Also, as far as the tutorial goes, there's not a ton. There is a training mode that's more about combat, which is pretty cool. Like I see it being a lot of fun. You've got a transforming sword, and you can do combos kind of in between, like back and forth a little bit. But yeah, you kill. I found the monster, and I thought it was pregnant because it had like a big old belly.
So you definitely killed it. You were like, "Don't have baby monsters."
Like, you want to bring somebody into this world.
I want to eat it. It's
this
veal.
Monster Hunter world.
Baby veal. Give me your monster veal.
Yeah, I killed it.
And
it wasn't pregnant.
veal.
I think it was just like it had things in its tummy. But halfway through, it started running back to its nest. So I was like chasing it, trying to kill it while it was limping away to its house.
Yeah, well, it definitely
Didn't feel great either.
You should have let it get to its house, then burned its house after, like in front of it.
Only that was an option.
While you
after the fact. After you've killed them.
Yes. No, you got to cripple it so that it can't move. Then you burn the house while it's staring at it.
Make it watch.
While its family is in there.
Jeez.
Die, monster house!
Monster torturer.
Yeah, stop resisting.
That's what I kept yelling at him the whole time.
Stop resisting!
This is your fault! This is your fault!
You brought this on yourself, you evil monstrosity!
I could see that game being great and a lot of fun. I don't know if I saw enough that it's great and a lot of fun for me, but
yeah,
I would need to see more about the surrounding things. The monster hunting seemed cool. I need to know how much of that is the draw. Like if this is just this is what's been popular. This is Monster Hunter. Like,
right.
Here you go. Now it's going to be great. You're going to love it. I'll be like, no, I might need more than that. So,
well, I mean, it's right in the title, so be aware.
Hope it's more world than Monster Hunter, I guess.
I just hope it's more monster than anything.
Hey, we went to the Game Awards too.
We did video games. I said hi to Dr. Disrespect, and I said hello to Nick Chester, and I said those are the only
keep going down the list.
Those are the only two famous people I talked to.
Okay, all right.
Famous, quote
and
unquote.
That was the Game Awards.
There we go. It was all right.
What did Dr. Disrespect say, actually?
He said thank you.
Oh.
Yeah. I just told him that I enjoyed his stream because I think he's fun. He said thank you, and I mentioned that I think it's really cute that his when his daughter shows up on stream and he will stop everything he's doing, doesn't matter what he's doing, he stops everything to give her a little kiss, and he's like, yeah, it kind of brings everything back down to reality for a minute and sometimes get a little respite. And yeah, it was cool.
Seemed like a nice dude. I liked that he was walking around in the wig and headset the whole night.
He's got to. It's the shtick. Gotta shtick it out.
It's good. I've a lot of admiration for shtick.
Yeah, no, he big shtick. Love Dr.
Speak softly, carry a big shtick.
Ha! Mel Brooks. Yeah, so the Game Awards existed, and we were there. We saw it. We were sitting right pretty much to the right, directly next to Jeff Keighley, where he was whenever he was not on stage in his little podium thing. We were right there, and so we saw all the backstage magic.
Oh, didn't we though? We're in some of those overhead shots too, because I went through and reviewed just to get everything in order here. And yeah, you can see us just clapping away.
Bummer. Don't look for us.
We sat next to. Should we shout them out?
Yeah.
DualShock and Awe.
Yeah, DualShock and Awe. Mile High Gamers. They were cool guys. Nice dudes.
Did you go check any of their stuff?
Yeah, I've just pinged them on Twitter. Actually, I have not. I haven't done anything with anything honestly since I got home. So
cool guys, no matter what they say, because we don't know what they say yet.
Yeah, they were nice cool to our faces. So Yeah. If they're
they've got that going for them.
If they're D-bags in real life, it's not my problem. But yeah. So there was some interesting stuff at the Game Awards. Some interesting presentations, some interesting interviews, some
this is a long list. Like obviously not all this needs a comment, but some of it was especially now that this is like a week later.
Yeah, we're a week later. We've digested, we've considered, we've thought about it.
Because they started out the show with actually some premieres, some announcements.
World premiere.
World War Z is going to be a video game.
Yeah,
didn't get much more than that.
No, it was. You didn't really see what it was. It could be a third person, could be a first person. Who knows?
It's World War Z. It's they should be Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead
will not. Yeah.
If it's not, I'm gonna be real bummed.
Because Fast Zombies, that's what I'm saying. Like they've got that. Hey, Vacation Simulator, also a game.
Basically, it is a sequel to Job Simulator. That looked cute.
Wherein
you take a vacation. Yeah. If I want to simulate a vacation, I'll just go use a green screen and put on some lotion while I'm sunning myself underneath.
That sounds like more work and less fun.
It's probably. I mean, I don't know. I like to lotion myself.
Smith & Smitherson Accounting Plus from the dude who made Stanley Parable and Justin Roiland of Rick and Morty fame.
Yeah, also looked kind of funny. It was totally a weird little thing.
Yeah, no, it's a funny trailer. The minute that first character speaks, I'm like, oh, that's Roiland.
Yeah.
While he was literally standing on that stage, like 2 feet away from us.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, that's I could tell. I can hear that sound. That sounds like Roiland.
And then the fact that it was from like Squanch Cat Games or something like that. Squanch Games, which Anyways.
From Software had a teaser.
Which I love. I love that teaser. Well, no, nothing. You assume it's either Bloodborne 2. I actually assume it's Bloodborne 2. That's my guess.
That's what I'm going to say. I don't know. Like I've heard a lot of talk about how it could not be Bloodborne 2, but none of it seems that compelling.
Yeah, I mean,
it's probably Bloodborne 2.
It's probably Bloodborne 2, but
it's literally like 10 seconds long. Like it pulls out. There's lots of blood on a machine of twisting of some sort, and then there's a clank, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah. Cool. I'm into it. Let's see what it is.
Campo Santo. The guys who did Firewatch got a new game called In the Valley of Gods. Trailer's real nice.
Beautiful trailer. Game like style looks great.
Yep.
Egypt looks
like
it's
Egypt, yeah.
Looks like it's 20s or 30s, maybe the 40s. Discovering the pyramids and all that and digging around. Yeah. Looks like it could be cool if it's like Firewatch and it's a little more of a passive game. It could be kind of fun.
Did you ever play Firewatch?
No. It's one that's on my list. I do want to play it. Yeah, it's also queued up for me.
Wolfenstein 2 then took home Best Action Game over Cuphead.
And let's briefly mention this, that the way that they did the awards this year was really, really weird. I gotta say, if you're going to do fan votes on awards, maybe don't announce them to like in an offhand way without having a fanfare for it, because a bunch of these awards were seriously just and best game for this, blah blah blah, and then
they just pooped them out. Yeah. Or sometimes when a game won an award, while they were going up to the stage, they would have that announcer that's like, this game also won this and this tonight, even though like that was the first you were hearing of it.
Right. Yeah. So Wolfenstein 2 won over Cuphead for Best Action Game, which that was cool. It looks good.
It's fine. Yeah, no, we'll accept that. Maybe the larger travesty was the game that won, and I didn't look. You'll remember maybe the game that won over Cuphead for, I think, music, or
it was.
There were two music categories. Now I can't remember.
I think it was either Nier. I think it was Nier. I think didn't Nier win, or it was either Nier or
quite possibly.
It was either
but it
Nier,
wasn't Cuphead. That's the important thing.
Yeah, which was stupid and dumb. It was either Nier or the game with the depressing murder lady. Yeah, Hellblade.
Yeah. So I don't know. That Cuphead has good music still.
Yeah, it does.
Then they showed a trailer for a new GTA Online heist, the Doomsday Heist.
Yeah, the Doomsday Heist that dropped Tuesday the 12th.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah,
apparently.
Came out yesterday.
Out.
So I don't. We're not going to stream that this week, but I think we talked about getting that prepped, and we want to do that. Yeah.
It looks bananas.
Looks great, man.
At some point, you fly away in DeLoreans.
Yep, flying cars. Do it.
Looks That can be fun. And then plenty of people were probably upset that we got to see a movie trailer.
I was not.
I was extremely not, because it was for The Shape of Water, after which Guillermo del Toro and Kojima came out to present another award, because that was where del Toro and Kojima presented Best Art Direction for Cuphead, which it did in fact win.
And it did in fact deserve.
Yes. That was the moment of the night where riots happened or they didn't.
Yeah, I would have been supremely pissed if that game. I probably would have just walked out. Honestly, I would have just left.
Like the whole integrity of the awards goes out the window at that point.
Gone.
Like, there's no reason to pay it any attention.
None.
But that didn't happen. We're in the good timeline. And then the Breath of the Wild Champions Ballad DLC Pack 2 came out, where you can get a motorcycle.
Yeah, you get a motorcycle horse. That's all I care about. Let's go on.
A horse cycle.
Motor horse.
So that's probably better.
Motorcycle. See? Didn't think about that.
Like
let's go with that. Motorcycle. Yeah.
And then Bethesda had a cool little video with Linda Carter about saving single-player games.
It was great. If you haven't seen the video for that, just go find it. It's really totally funny. Fun. That was great.
It's really good. And then they did the Industry Icon Award, wherein Carol Shaw got some recognition. I guess her big game was River Raid. But she did a ton in the industry, and it turns out is great at riding elevators.
She is dynamite, man. She gets on them and then talks to us on them, and then we get off
in our hotel,
and she says, "Have a good day."
She does,
and she's very nice, very kind.
We did congratulate her. She's cool.
Yeah.
In fact, that was at the point where we were trying to figure out where to get food, and I was like, "Fine, I'll just go buy a street dog." So I went back down after that elevator ride up with Carol Shaw, and got a hot dog, and then came back, and she had come down also for something else at some point. So we got back in the elevator again,
possibly a hot dog,
but with two other strangers, all of which just in deep admiration for my hot dog, for my street dog. To the point where, after mentioning how expensive room service was and other places to get food that, you know, didn't cost $5 but might kill you, as I exited the elevator about 5 steps down, I heard somebody in the elevator referring to me and my hot dog say, "Well, good for him." It was one of the best moments.
Yeah, no, I was proud of you. I was just thrilled. That was great.
I don't know if that was good because I didn't break down and spend the extra money to get decent food from a normal restaurant, or.
But you know what? You didn't blow up the bathroom, and you didn't blow up the bed. Yeah, I mean the bed did go from white to kind of a tannish color, but.
Soul Calibur 6 also coming out. They did a trailer for that. Mm-hmm. Have you ever played a Soul Calibur game?
I have. Not enough Valdo in that Soul Calibur trailer for me.
Okay.
Valdo
looked fine enough, but I have no.
Game looks great. No, it looks cool, okay. But I Valdo is my favorite character in the series. He's Google him and you'll find out.
Could be in this game. Is he a popular
one?
one?
Yeah, he'll be in the game almost certainly. Google him and you will find out why I like him the most. And if you don't know who Valdo is from Soul Calibur, NSFW. I'm not kidding, man.
And then
weird.
Aisha Tyler came out and gave Cuphead another award, bless her heart, for best debut. Where at the same time that same disembodied voice said that they won best indie game at some point during the night as well.
They did, and good for them because it was the best indie game that I played called Cuphead.
That's a good game.
It was a good game.
Donald Mustard got up after a trailer for Fortnite Battle Royale. Apparently got a 50 versus 50 mode, which is already out there. People are playing it, so not necessarily new news. And
people are digging it too, man. It's popular.
Yeah?
People are digging it. Yeah.
Have you done it? Have you played it yet?
I have not played any video games since I got home.
Is that what we're going to try and do?
I have no idea. I don't know that I'm going to be streaming ever again.
Okay. Yeah, it might be better to say that instead of...
Yeah, let's just move.
We thought we solved the problem of trying to think of what game we're going to stream by just saying show up and we'll stream something, but then we just don't stream anything. So
yeah,
maybe we should say we're not going to stream tomorrow, and then when we do,
it'll be a shock.
It's
to the system.
Still disappointing, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
It's fine. Continue about Fortnite.
Mustard also, while he was up, got a quick dig in at Sony for dragging their feet on cross-platform play.
Not only a quick dig, but a reminder to anybody who forgot that Epic accidentally turned on cross-platform and proved it worked accidentally.
Yeah, Keeley did question him about that pretty directly.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff.
It was.
Overwatch got best ongoing, and again, the voice said best esports even.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
Great.
And then we saw a trailer for Fade to Silence, which is a new game from Black Forest and THQ Nordic. Maybe the biggest or second biggest yawn of the night for me, really. That trailer.
So much that I can't remember it.
It's the guy, the announcer wasn't great, but the guy is like frozen or laying down on the snow the whole thing, and it's the whole time, and it's going back and forth.
Boring. Yeah, not interested.
Yeah, that's the one. Reggie Fils-Aimé got up and brought all the Bayonettas.
He was like, hey, you like Bayonetta 2? Well, that's too bad. You have to have Bayonetta 1 with your Bayonetta 2. It's free. It's on the disc. And then he was like, hey, you like Bayonetta 2 so much? Fine. We'll put it out on the Switch. We don't care. You want that? Good. Have another one. Have a Bayonetta 3. We'll announce that.
Yep. They're
Suck
just
it.
Giving them away.
He says, we can't. We got too much Bayonetta here. You get some, and you get some. Everybody gets a Bayonetta.
So Bayonetta 3.
Yeah.
You'll see.
Who cares about any of that? Because the best trailer of the night happened directly after that.
Good gosh, man. The Death, so that's everywhere too, but that Death Stranding trailer, like just,
you thought last year's was weird?
Everything that's been said, but seriously, my jaw dropped 4 separate times during that thing. Like what? Just what?
I don't know what I saw. I don't care. I just want it.
When that freaking baby popped up, the thumbs up baby in
throat
the throat,
baby.
like I just lost it. Like I didn't know.
Yeah, I love it though. I am. Norman Reedus came out right after that with Kojima and of course
for technically no reason.
No
reason. I don't even think they presented an award.
They didn't. They came out and were like, "Hey, do you like the trailer?" And Norman Reedus was like,
"I'm Norman Reedus."
He's like, "I don't even know what I just watched." And Norman Reedus and Kojima are very adorable together. They clearly like each other a lot. Just like Kojima and Del Toro, man. They're just so
right. That's what I'm saying. He seems to bring like the best out in people or something.
Yeah, hey,
it's just really weird.
He's the most metal of Gears.
Let's not bring Gears into this.
Yeah, Gears of War
or anything
starring Hideo Kojima and
Jason Schwartzman. Surprise presentation. I didn't know he was coming. I didn't know if he was on the list of stars or not.
I didn't either, but I am a huge fan of Jason Schwartzman's work, so that was nice to go, oh, I like you. You're cool. It's cool.
And I get the feeling, so he introduced Phoenix.
And Phoenix, Phoenix was great. And I completely agree with everybody who thinks bands like that should never play the Game Awards and that they should not have they need to just nuke the music events because, man, if you're a fan of music at all, you go to that is depressing for the band. Like they're getting paid, so they're going to do their job. But man, that's like, and they only have to play one song, which is fantastic. And they're going to go, right after the Game Awards, they go to the K-Rock Christmas thing because they were playing there. So, they were going to have real fans and a real thing. But dude, sitting in the back and or further out and watching that, it's just depressing. There's no energy whatsoever. It's like,
nope.
Boo.
You feel bad for the band. You feel bad for the
viewers at home who are like, clearly nobody's caring.
Well, no, streaming, I bet it looks better than it did for us there. Like, you're right. Like, just,
I every time I've seen them have the bands on, man, it never comes across. Never. It always just looks like a dead
doesn't come across in the moment either.
No. And Phoenix went up there and did what they did, and they were good. So it's fine.
Still great. Yeah. Still fine. And then they showed a new trailer for a game called Witchfire. I guess it's made by the people who did The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, and then also some of the guys who did Painkiller and Bulletstorm, which altogether is called The Astronauts, I guess is the name of the actual team.
And that game looked cool. That game. It
looked cooler before they started shooting everything, honestly. But
I like shooting things, though. So
no, that's fine. But there was a mystery to it before he pulled out a gun, and then it just turned into
Bulletstorm, but shooting. Witch style.
Bulletstorm, I guess.
Yeah, I'm good with it.
All right, you make a decent argument.
Yeah, witches, guns, cool. Bulletstorm,
guns,
go.
Fair.
And then and then what was possibly the most hilarious thing of the night, no matter how you viewed it.
How do you say his name? Joseph Fares, probably.
Sure, Joseph
Fares, depending on where you're from. The guy from Haze Light Part of the team who made Brothers, really, really, really good game. Also making A Way Out, which looks like a really, really good game. Like we're gonna play that. Absolutely.
We are. And what's really, 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 really cool about this game is that they've got it set up in such a way that only one person has to buy the full game. The other person downloads the demo and can play the whole game co-op with the person who purchased the whole game.
Oh, is that what that? Oh, that's cool. Oh, man.
Yep.
All right.
So you don't have to buy the game to play the game.
Yeah, I'm going to buy it anyways.
I am definitely.
That's very cool.
I'm going to buy it
they
anyways, yeah.
Take my money. But not to be overshadowed by what actually happened.
True, it was hilarious, man. I thought it was funny.
No, it was great. It was, I mean, to see it too. Like we were just sitting right there watching him go. Like I kept looking back and forth, but at actually him and the screen. Like, is he still like trying to see Keeley, especially too? Like, is this like how much of this did he know was going to happen? I don't think any of it.
Keeley knew nothing. I don't think Keeley had any. I think this was set to be let's talk about your video game like every single other person. And man, he just went off about the Oscars I love the everybody in the world could tell me this game is bad and I will tell you no, it isn't. Like, yes, I agree with this man.
It's out there.
I can't be wrong. It must be everybody else that's out of touch.
It's going to be a good game, I think.
Yeah, no, I think it is too.
Dreams still exists from Media Molecule. They showed a trailer for that coming out in 2018.
Yeah, a lot came out of PlayStation Experience, which was also this weekend.
True. Yeah.
About that game looking great, feeling great. People are digging it.
In fact, I feel like a lot of what we talk about here has some crossover with that event. But there's one thing that we'll add later on. But yeah, PSX was also happening. And then they played the Andrew House Memoriam video, RIP.
Yeah, and then he came out on stage and presented Hellblade with the Impact Game Award, which was cool.
Very cool of him for a dead dude.
I did not have enough background on that game. I didn't really understand a whole lot about it.
We kind of knew we wanted to play it.
Yeah, but it was just, I didn't know enough about it, and so it was kind of something that was in the periphery. And after hearing the creator talk about it, and then kind of everybody else bringing it up and talking about it the way they did, it's
Melina Juergens.
Yeah. The star of the game, who was who was quote unquote just the video editor, and then they got the chance to do the mocap.
We'll get there. But yeah, that Andrew House video was so weird.
That was bizarre.
Like literally halfway through, we turned to each other like, "Did this guy die? Like, is this the sad to see him go thing?"
Right. I was like, I didn't know they were doing this. Like, they're going full on. I feel like somebody else had to die this year, and why didn't they bring him up? You know?
No, he's still alive.
Yeah, he's just leaving PlayStation.
I guess.
So cool. That was stupid and big deal. He is one of those guys that give me a freaking break with this kind of like we're gonna idolize you and stuff. The dude might be a nice cat and all that. He's still a businessman, and like I'm just not falling for that nonsense.
By all accounts, he seems like one of the nicest businessmen. Like he seems like a cool dude, right, you know, like a Peter Moore type thing, you know. But yeah, still like.
Dude,
was a little much.
He's a businessman and a shill, and that one, I have to wonder if that was a little paid thing by Sony because of PSX.
Something, yeah. I mean, that's the question. In fact, we start these discussions with some of what the Game Awards is, because there's always that discussion about like, oh, it's an awards show, like it's sponsored, you know, like eBay had a bunch of commercials peppered in, you know, the Schick Hydro bot last year was the thing that was going wrong all over the place. We get it. Like, honestly, I'm kind of, maybe I'm sick of it because we do it every year, but the whole conversation about how it's, you know, and not because I'm disagreeing, but just because it is what it is, you know, like this is never going to be the bastion of video games that maybe some people think like that, and that's part of it. I don't know what some people are trying to get at. Like, where are they trying to go with the criticism that this is a gross commercial event, you know, 50% of the time? I don't know. Like, yeah, sure. That doesn't mean the other 50% can't exist and isn't great. Like this year, actually, I would say this might have been the greatest year for the Game Awards, really. Probably. It was the most entertaining that I can remember. So, yeah, I mean, we didn't necessarily start this show with that, but... We didn't need to. No, Andrew House maybe that's why. Doesn't need a memoriam.
in any respect right now. That's all I'm saying.
And then, so also, yes, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds did get a trailer wherein they announced 1.0 is coming to PC on the 20th. Finally, the new map Miramar is out there already. I think people are already playing with it, right?
Yeah, on the test server. I don't think it's live.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. It sounds kind of cool. I can say this now because my Battlegrounds is literally waiting for me at UPS right now.
You excited?
Go pick it up. Although I hear early access is
it's
an
bad.
appropriate moniker for that thing at this point on the Xbox.
I'm sure it is, but
it's gonna be great.
Whatever. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on PUBG.
Yeah, look forward to that next week.
What happened?
And then Andy Serkis did get up and he did present best performance to Melina Juergens from Hellblade, which was just super great.
It was.
And yeah, you're right. Like she got up and was like, "I'm the video editor. I've never acted before."
Yeah, and she was super sweet and like nervous and
cool.
and yeah, she just seemed like a cool person and I love that she
Dressed
was wearing her
mocap.
mocap suit. Yeah, yeah, that was great.
It's fun. Then we saw another trailer from apparently some of the developers that made Payday at some point. Like there's another announcement that came out this week.
I don't understand how making candy it translates to video games, but whatever.
If you don't understand that yet, it's like the
like
Doritos conundrum.
Is this like a Simply Red song? If you don't know me by now,
probably.
You will never ever.
These guys are making a new game called GTFO, and you're fighting fast zombies. It looks pretty Left 4 Dead-ish.
It does. It does look pretty Left 4 Dead-ish. It's 4-player co-op. It's more fast-paced. They specifically said they were going for something more fast-paced and a total different style than Payday, which is cool. The game, it looked nice. It looked fine, if not a little by the numbers for what they're aiming for.
Yeah.
My other concern is that those developers have consistently kind of boned the Payday games. Like they totally dropped the ball, and I don't think they've even fixed matchmaking or any of this stuff on the consoles. Like it's broken, and it's been
somebody
broken.
got bought or sold or something. Like, do they?
And I don't. Yeah,
why I'm
I don't know if
confused
it's
here. I feel like
I don't know if it's them or if they're just the guys that were developing it, and then maybe somebody else took it over. I don't remember.
Who's Overkill?
They're the guys that I think were doing Payday, or they did Payday. They developed.
Yeah, but
Payday.
then didn't they get bought, or somebody got bought for them?
Possibly.
I think GTFO is not made by those same guys because Overkill is also doing a new Walking Dead game in 2018 apparently, and that's whatever.
Hold on for a second.
Best game direction.
Wait, just no. Just give me a second.
Wait.
Just stupid.
Wait.
And I don't want to be dumb about this. It's being made by After Impact. That's the name of the development company or the development group, and it looks like it's one of the developers or one of the designers specifically from Payday. So it's not the designer of Payday and Payday 2. And
Overkill are the
studio.
guys that are
Okay,
currently.
Here we go. The designer of Payday and Payday 2 opened a new studio called 10 Chambers Collective.
Right.
10 Chambers Collective is making this game, and it's being put out by that other group that I just mentioned.
Okay. All right. There you go. Scooped. We did it.
So great. Let's move on because now I feel stupid.
Best game direction. And also best action adventure at some point that we didn't know about. Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Not a shocker. Not a shocker.
No, I think that's appropriate. Yeah, that's totally believable. We saw some more of Metro Exodus, which still looks good.
Looks amazing.
The orchestra, which there was an orchestra there, by the way, played some pretty cool Overwatch, some sweet Overwatch riffs.
Now, this is the one thing I'll say. I like the orchestra. The orchestra should be there. The orchestra can play. Let the orchestra use the orchestra. It was underutilized, in my opinion. Like, why they came out 2 times, maybe 3.
There was one. They opened the show.
They did the Overwatch thing, and then they did the Game of the Year stuff.
Game of the Year medley. Yeah.
Right. Like, that was great. I actually really thought that went well. I thought it went over very well. I think that got a better response than Phoenix did by far.
Yeah, why don't you do an Oscars thing? Like, keep him in the pit and have him do all the...
That's what I'm saying. And I think this ends up coming back to what does Keighley want this to be? Not what do we want. What is he trying to make it? If he is trying to make it the Oscars of video games, a couple of things, in my opinion, need to change, and I'm going to hit on these before we finish out Game of the Year.
Okay.
He needs to not host it. He's a good host. I enjoy him. He's not the host they need. They need somebody that is not Aisha Tyler either. I think she's great. But think about the best Oscar hosts that you've seen, what they have in common with their industry, who they are, and what they do. You need to have good writers. You need to get Scott Aukerman, but they need to get rid of Keeley. Keeley needs to step back and give the microphone to somebody who's not an actor, not a Joel McHale, somebody who's in the industry, but is like somebody that can hold the attention. And
see, I think that's Keeley. I don't know. I don't think there's anybody else at this point.
And if that is Keeley, then the entire structure of that show needs to change, because it's just not. It's not the Oscars at all. It's not even close. Like it's
Were
not.
You there for Joseph Fares' rant?
Well. Okay,
it's not the Oscars.
Maybe he should be aiming for the Grammys then, possibly the Tonys.
See, this conversation I like. Like, this is the conversation to have about this thing. I think it's its own thing. Like, that's literally what the dude, when he was trying to say whatever about the Oscars.
No, yeah.
He's just saying it's because the Game Awards thing is its own thing. It's not trying to be the Oscars. And I think Keeley does a really good job at that, kind of turning it into its own thing. And he's got to walk that line between, like, it can't be the Oscars.
No, not at all. I guess on some hand, maybe he wants it to be way more casual, but I think that keeping it casual also doesn't help legitimize it. And it allows for things like, if you want to keep things quote unquote legitimate, I thought the Joseph Fares things was hilarious, but there are a ton of people out there that are like, this is the problem with the game industry. This is,
right, sure.
and it's a great example of, the show is not meant to be a professional show. Like, it's a fun night for people in the industry and fans, which is cool. And if that's all you're aiming for, if that's what he wants to do, that's fine. I think there are still better ways to go about it. I think there's more improvements he can make, and hopefully we'll see that. But he has gone 4 years now with some of the same stupid mistakes. The bans. That's just dumb. Nobody is into it.
It's a headlining event. Like, that gets...
It's a drag on the show, and nobody is turning nobody's turning the Video Game Awards on to see Phoenix. Nobody's turning the Video Games Awards on to watch Run the Jewels. They're waiting for the stupid thing. They'll watch the clip of it. That's not going to draw viewers, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, anyways, I think... I think the Game Awards are fun. I think they need some improvement, and I think I guess I would like to understand more what his goals are, because they're not clear to me yet. Still,
yeah. Having been to that panel at PAX, like, I think Keeley is a really good producer. Like, he's got the knowledge, and hearing him talk about some of that stuff so off the cuff as well, like the history of it. I think I mentioned some of that and all that. But yeah, what is he trying to do? Is he trying to push back that line at all between, like you said, irreverence and, legitimacy maybe? Or is that a line that you just get used to? Like, yeah, the Joseph Fares stuff was too far in the other direction maybe. You're right. Somebody's going to see that and be like, that's...
Eric Pope, actually, great example. He was down on it. He did not think it was funny. He thought it was really bad for the industry. And Eric Pope's a guy that I respect his opinion. I think I can see where from a man in the industry, I see where he's coming from. It is not hard
to see it from both sides. Yeah, no,
not
absolutely.
At all. I'm not in the industry. We're not in the industry. To me, that was funny.
Right, yeah, no,
but I'm not not impacted by it. It impacts me in no way. It does and can potentially impact Eric Pope's life. Because people see, oh, you're in the game industry. Well, that's just, toxic, awful area. And
you don't see very, I'm sure, well-meaning semi-actresses hawking eBay in the middle of the Oscars, like,
right.
But still, like I said, it's not going to I don't think it's ever going to get where we would love it to be.
I don't even know where I'd love it to be. That's the thing, is because I don't have the vision. I don't know what, to me, it's something that's either there or it's not. You could have a horror movie Academy Awards. Great. What is that? What does that mean? Is everybody dressed up like the Academy Awards? Are you dressed up casually? What is it?
Well, then we just get back to the whole thing we just said, that it's just always an awards show. Like, that's Some of this is just never going to change because this is what it is, and this medium is imperfect in all the worst ways.
Right, you know? but the flip to that is putting on the award show to make it like the Oscars is totally doable. You just have to treat it as such. Do you want to? That's the question. You know,
I don't think so,
and I don't think so. That goes along a too self-serious point. And I don't think video games should have that necessarily for an award show. But I also think that right now, maybe it's a little too lax. You know, I think there's a way to elevate it so that it's a little closer to being...
I keep hearing the MTV Music or Video Awards or something like that because their award shows are very much maybe the closest analog to this thing.
Sure, but they're also treated a little more seriously, even though they're MTV. You know, big deal.
Yeah, no, nobody should treat them seriously.
Right. So, anyways,
yes, Breath of the Wild did win Game of the Year.
It's a great game. Congratulations. Disagree, but great game.
Oh, really? I called it. You were wrong.
I know. I'm always wrong.
And then not announced to anybody, I guess, except for the people who called Jeff Keighley after the fact and asked him, and to which he responded, "Oh yeah, Battlegrounds did win Best Multiplayer Game."
Which is offensive to me.
Oh, but that was the one where you could see it happening.
Yeah, no,
it's fine. It didn't get Best Ongoing. It didn't get Game of the Year thing.
And I still go back to the, you know, it should never have been nominated. Early access, I don't think and to that extent, I would say that if I'm gonna, Fortnite shouldn't have been added either. But Fortnite, I think, is technically in all of these respects, which we talked about during the awards pre-show thing that we did. The phrasing in the category description lended itself more towards Fortnite and more against PUBG.
So you're saying Fortnite was the game that shouldn't have been added, that should have won?
Yeah. Whatever. PlayStation Experience. We didn't go. We wanted to go, but we didn't go.
It would have been nice. The only thing I saw that came out of there that I thought was maybe fun to talk about at some point was the Wipeout VR patch that's coming to the Omega Collection.
Yeah, I love
Wipeout in VR has got to be good.
So number one, I love Wipeout. Number two, in VR, I just want to point out we're like one step away from you are basically you could be acid burn. You could be crash. You could be crash override. You could be crash and burn.
Now I know what that means.
In Hackers, they played a weird version of Wipeout.
All right. See? Only good could come of this.
I'm just kidding.
Impressive.
You'll never be any of those things.
And I guess the Capcom Cup was this weekend too, or this week?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Which I think is great.
It is.
Good job, Capcom. Way to have a cup.
It's great because they announced two things at least. No, this is going great. The Season 3 of Street Fighter V. So if you like Sakura, Blanca, Falke, Cody, G, just the letter G, or Sagat, you're in luck because those characters are all coming for Season 3.
Tiger.
More interesting was this 30th anniversary collection.
Yoga Flame.
How did you say Dalsim when you were growing up?
Dalsim.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I called him Dallism or something like that.
Dalsim.
Dallism.
Dalsim. I just call him Dalsim.
So the 30th anniversary collection comes with Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Hyper Fighting, Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter Alpha 1, 2, and 3, Street Fighter 3, Second Impact, and Third Strike. I've played 2 of those.
If I bought that, I would only play one version of that game.
That's one of the reasons I'm actually stoked on this, because I didn't play a ton of these. Like, I'm kind of excited for this thing. I might pick it up and play each game for a second.
That's one I will not pick up. There's no chance.
All right.
Okay, I like the games. I don't like, but I have no interest past like whichever first game introduced Cammy, which I think was Tournament Edition something.
Cammy,
it was after
Street Fighter 3.
No, she was Street Fighter 2. It was It was after Championship Edition. I know that. And it might have been, it was like Turbo Championship Edition, I think, is when she was released.
See, this is why I need to buy it. I have no idea.
But anyways, let's keep going because I got to go.
Okay, all right. Multiplayer also coming to Hyper Fighting and Turbo and Alpha 3 and Third Strike if you wanted to. But none of the others. So,
well,
hey,
Stupid.
We already mentioned Overkill's Walking Dead game, so no reason to get into that. Go watch the trailer if you want. Looks kind of good, actually. In weirdness update, so there's this representative, Chris Lee, out in Hawaii who was, we thought, maybe playing politician a little bit. I kind of got the feeling he was garnering headlines by coming out against loot boxes and talking about actual legislation and saying it's a trap in a real official capacity.
Yeah.
He has a new video out wherein he talks about steps to take, tools to use, and ways to get the work done. Did you watch the video?
I did not. I know that he is looking to ban the sale of games that have basically any game that has microtransactions to anybody under the age of 21.
It's watch the video, man. It's weird. Like, he comes across as sincere. And I know a lot of this could be he's playing politician, or maybe he's just a good politician. I don't know. But he comes across as somebody that's happy to give other people the tool, let others watch the process.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, I think it's great that he's getting involved and wants to do something. I think you get into a slippery slope with doing anything like we're going to ban the sales of anything with a loot box to anybody's age, and I don't think it's the right thing to do.
Typically, we don't want the government in this.
Not typically, never. There's no typical. Always. The government should be involved in nothing. But what bothers
capitalism all the way.
What bothers me the most about this, like, I understand, I totally understand, I don't like loot boxes. I'm not a huge fan of them. I think they can be fun. They can be implemented correctly. I've certainly spent money on loot boxes in the past. It has absolutely been, it was a shocking issue when I got that first freaking bill and I went, okay, never doing that again. So I never did it again.
Well, Overwatch?
No, this was years and years and years
Team
and
Fortress.
years ago. It was Team Fortress. Yeah. I spent more money doing trading stuff. Wasn't just loot boxes. I mean, truthfully, it was trading things, and there was. But anyways, so I get it from the gambling, like the addictive perspective. I understand that, but when it comes to the under 21 thing, and certainly under 18, I absolutely loathe anything like this, because the problem is yours. If you're not teaching your child how not to gamble in these games, if you're not explaining and at least paying attention to it, you are part of the problem, and actually are probably the problem. You know, the fact that, like, we agree that these practices are predatory. They do prey on the weak-willed, the people who have addictions, and the ignorant. Period.
People that haven't developed the skills or the know-how or this is the reason that straight up advertising is I don't know if it's outlawed, but looked down upon in a lot of circles to children, because they don't know. A kid sees an ad on the TV, they think that thing is good for them. Like, they think that adult is telling them this thing is good and they should have this thing. They don't know it's some dude somewhere trying to make money.
No, so exactly. It's the Joe Camel thing.
But you're right. No, parents. Yeah, no, totally. Parents.
Get involved. Stop being idiots.
You're an idiot.
Because you're the problem. And now your kid is the problem. And your kid probably
more problems.
Yeah, more kids, mo problems. Hey, you know what? I gotta go. We gotta do this fast. It's time for the lightning round. Let's go. Go.
Okay, are you ready, Matt? This is the point where I'm going to say a couple quick news items that we don't want to talk about, and you're going to say a couple quick news answers that we also don't want to talk about. So
I don't want to say them. You don't want to hear them. Delegate from Iceland. Let's do this.
Square Enix says the next Tomb Raider game will be released in 2018, shortly after being announced.
That's great. I wonder which console it'll go to permanently all by itself and never go anywhere else and make everybody angry.
Far Cry 5 and The Crew 2 have been delayed.
Ubisoft, we heart you.
March 13th, 2018 is the day where you will be able to buy a brand new Devil May Cry HD collection.
That is also the day that I will place those dollars back in my wallet to not purchase a game I don't enjoy nor have played more than for 5 to 25 minutes. Hey, here we go. Games, stuff that's coming out. Yesterday,
excellent. Perfect score.
Overwatch's Winter Wonderland is back. Get May's Yeti hunting. You can go hunt Yetis with May. It'll be fun, I'm sure. Tomorrow, Yooka-Laylee hits the Switch. Look who's excited. Nobody. Friday, Romancing Saga 2. It doesn't have Michael Douglas or Kathleen Turner. How disappointing. Get Danny DeVito at the very least.
Romancing the Saga.
Right. Sorry. And next Tuesday is Defunct. So don't worry about it. It won't be there.
Story of my life.
Hey, go to 0HP, 0HITPOINTS.com. Check us out there. We've got podcasts listening. You can go to Twitter, 0_H_P. We're on Instagram. You can find us anywhere you want. You can email us, podcast at 0HITPOINTS.com. We might stream on Thursday. That's tomorrow at 7 p.m. PST. If we do, you'll hear about it through Twitter. Probably minutes before we go live. Not hours, minutes. Keep your ears tuned. Set an alert. Set an alarm. Be on top of us.
Seat of our pants, people.
What are you going to play this week to talk about next week?
I'm probably going to dip into Battlefront 2's arcade, something rather. You're just sorry you ask every week. That's the fun part.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Recore, maybe. These are all in the wings. Yeah. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Battlegrounds. I'm going to go get Battlegrounds right now.
Okay, Battlegrounds. I don't know if I'll be joining you in the Battlegrounds. I will try to get some more Fortnite in for sure. I have a big hankering to plug GTA in and do some driving around Los Santos since I was just there to revisit the city. Because we did see a bunch of the sites, which were just a bunch of sections in the city that were pulled and used in the game, which was cool.
The police station.
The ramps right outside.
That intersection. Yep.
Yeah.
Malibu.
Yeah, so that... And I don't know. That's what I got. So we'll see.
That's what you got. You're all going to get it. There it is.